politician.
Pardon?
So I'm a politician. Actually, that's not true. I am who I am in the political space because I think I have something to offer that space. And I'm running for city council. This is my second time. And the first time I ran, it was kind of personal because I had some political posters in my sign that had been there forever. And one day I come out in my garage, my garage was open because I was working out there, and someone had slashed all of those signs and pulled them off my garage walls. So I taped them back up and I stapled them back to the wall because, well, it's my garage. I get to decide what goes there. A couple weeks later, I'm working in the garage. I come in the house. I'm only in the house for like 5 minutes, and I come back out and they've been slashed and pulled down again. And where I live, there's open space in front of me, so it's not like I have a crazy neighbor across the street. And so I don't know what's going on, so I decide to invest in security cameras, which was a great idea until I started putting them up. And I started to play out scenarios in my mind, such as stand your ground. And that, okay, so I find someone in my garage, what the heck am I going to do with them? Because there's no way where stand your ground works for me. And it might work out eventually, but in the short term, it ain't gonna work out too well. And so I ran for city council because I wanted to have a conversation with my neighbors about working together, and that we don't have to agree because we have common challenges. Fast forward to after George Floyd was killed, and I get a call and it says, "Are you going to the demonstration tonight?" And I'm like, "What demonstration?" Like, well, they're having a Black Lives Matter demonstration up at Bear Creek in Alameda. So I go, and that was the very first time it occurred to me that I'm the Black guy in Lakewood. But I also realized that if my white and other neighbors were willing to stand up and say that my lives matter, I was willing to stand up with them as they stood up for me. And then I realized in that discourse, from then until November, like literally several times a week, out on the street corner, either holding a sign or a flag or whatever, is that it wasn't that people who were opposing us were upset with what we were saying, because that didn't matter. It didn't matter if I had a sign up that said Black Lives Matter. Didn't matter if I was holding a sign that said, "Beloved, let us love one another." It didn't matter if I was holding up a sign that said, "God bless America," and it didn't matter if I was holding up an American flag. Is that what people were upset about was opposition and people expressing their viewpoints. And so realizing that, and every time the newspaper came out, I'm the one with an interview because I'm the Black guy in Lakewood. And realizing that, as I decided I was going to run for city council again, what I realized is that my community needed to see me in all of my meanness, because otherwise I'd be invisible in this community where we're trying to push a ball up the hill. And there's a lot of people pushing, but there's not a lot of people that look like me. And that's when I realized that there was something that I had to offer that was more than me. It was the perspective and the life experience and the story. And so people have, there have been really good people, but there have been some not so good people too, who say really crazy things, trying to create a ruckus, thinking that people have some deep-seated racist sort of leanings that they can just stir the pot, even like calling into question the legitimacy of my name and stuff like that. And I realized it had been very easy for me to say, you know what, this is someone else's problem and someone else can solve it. But then I thought of the little Black gay kid that lives somewhere in my community that has never seen one of me before. And so I'm standing up for democracy. I'm standing up for my community. I'm standing up for myself, but more so, I'm standing up for anyone who has ever been on the outside and felt that they didn't belong on the inside. And so that is the heart of my race for city council. And it has just, I don't want to say it's shaken up our city, but it's a brand new conversation for my community, where only 1.3% of the population is Black, where it has its roots in white flight from the suburbs, where there was a time where the covenants restricted who could live there, but even the plat maps when the properties were divided had restrictions on it. And so I'm running, and I feel compelled for my community, because it's time to not just turn the page, but to turn the page and write a powerful new story. And I was going to say what I believe in. I believe in people. I believe in all people. So that's my story. Thank you. And my name is Christopher.
Yeah, I'm Justin Joseph, and I live in El Dorado Springs, Colorado. I believe this is Niawat land, and this is freedom. And I this someone mentioned salmon, salmon cultivator or curator or caretaker, and it's this needed in life, and recognizing that for a long time, maybe I had to hide all that I was in order to have the chance of becoming what I can be, what I am today. Yeah, I drew a card, and it's called, you know, in this world but not of this world, and I've just been feeling all the stories said today and how deeply I understand them, like, in this body, and that the concept of standing up for something, just to stand up for, or to step out for, or to represent. And for most of this life, I felt like I represented everyone and no one, or that I didn't really belong anywhere in particular. From like being living in 3 different homes for, adoption, before 7 months old. In my body, I've never really known the comfort of safety of mama, papa, or papa, mama. I've lived in about 12 to 13 states and probably 27 to 30 cities, and maybe 2 or 3 countries now. Most of that was before the age of 18, and a lot of that was before the age of 18. So I never really known home. I'm a biracial man, but I've been called everything under the sun almost, and been claimed by, different ethnic and racial and cultural backgrounds, and yet have found out that I belong to very very few of the ones that I thought that I would. Um, I, I feel like this moment in time in this life, I'm having to decide that all the ways that I have a story of that I am not right, that I have to be the one that changes that, like changes the way in which I write this narrative and write this story, because it is no longer okay to just have it be about me. Um, that I don't get that luxury any longer, and I'm still in it. I'm still in it every single day. I wake up and I try to find the reason why, because there's so many things that say I shouldn't, I couldn't, I can't give up. I, who do you think that you are to try to be something for somebody when you can't even do it for yourself? And I don't know whose voice that is, but I get up anyway. And I've been working on this challenge of bridging the hyperlocal, the reality of my physical life, to the global social, the reality of working in a regenerative, decentralized human organization that is creating bioregional pilots that are meant to prototype uh, the new civilization through regenerative agriculture applied to economic systems and a cryptocurrency called seeds. And there's moments where the 2 worlds look nothing alike. They don't even make any sense together. And yet that's the binary, the polarity, the duality that I've known this entire life as a way of being and becoming. And the same polarity, the same duality, the same binary, I wake up with around purpose. What is the purpose? Why am I doing this? Why even try? And I hear that question in so many people in so many ways that are veiled and masked, and yet the decision to approach that, like the ability, the resourcing, the way forward, to recognize all the ways that I'm not alive, that I haven't chosen to live this life fully, all the ways that I hide what I am, who I am, how I am, why I am. All those things that dull the fluorescent nature of a human being becoming. This is the thing that I can no longer do, and I think it's because it doesn't matter at all, and therefore I decide that it matters, that I matter, that we matter, that the us and the our, and in this moment matters, and I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to. I've all I know, all I see. I don't know if I even know it. All I see is that sometimes, if I just show up as I am, maybe show my face, maybe speak up, speak out, maybe just listen. I don't know. It's like I do the thing that I constantly am trying to figure out how to do, which is allow maybe that questions I'm asking to create space for another person to wonder if they can ask them, or what it is to ask them, or find a new way to look at the nature of of a life in question. So I guess like I'm saying that I'm it's kind of maybe like nulls out the question, but I feel like I choose I'm choosing this self in relationship to all those that I know and do not know that are a part of this life and this journey. I'm choosing to be and become ever more publicly or visibly or just transparently, in the hopes that the life that this is, no matter what it is and what it looks like, and no matter where it takes this being in this body, that it is made meaningful by the fact that I lived it fully, and or something like that. I don't know. Um,
I heard someone say, ...
I heard someone say, less is more.
I heard someone say, I believe in humanity.
I heard someone say, I'm standing up.
I heard someone say Sean Carter.
I heard someone say, I'm from this world, but not of this world.
I heard someone say together.
I heard someone say, may each story fill up the cup.
I want to continue this by inviting all those with their cameras off to turn them on and to add your witness comments. I heard someone say, or I heard people talking about.
I heard someone say, as a community united, we are limitless.
I heard someone say light comes from darkness.
I heard someone say it's time to turn the page and write a new story.
I heard someone say giving voice to those who don't have one or don't use them.
I heard people speak of merging with the system and bringing ancient knowledge into the moment to solve the problem.
I heard someone say, we are powerful.
I heard someone say, I am a naturalist facilitator.
I heard someone say that every week they would buy a new thing for a child they didn't know they would have. A bottle, something every week.
I heard someone say we don't want to create a situation that's unsafe.
I heard speak of the importance of understanding our water rights.
I heard someone say the fluorescent nature of being, becoming.
I heard someone say being in this body is made meaningful by the fullness with which I've lived it.
I heard the spaciousness or silence of all those who we spoke about who aren't here. I guess, and I feel that the call to just make a little space for them to just, to listen.
I heard someone say they followed their promptings, not really knowing why or how it would lead, but it turned out to be a very meaningful and important experience.
I heard someone say, by telling our stories, we realize that we're not alone.
I heard someone say, what is beyond?
I heard someone say we matter.
I heard someone say interwoven.
I heard someone say that instead of being all alone, we are all the same.
I heard someone say, I decide, I matter, and I get up anyway.
I heard someone say, die in the fire.
I heard someone say land rights.
I heard someone say that politicians work for money and big interest.
I heard someone say that when we learn that our stories are the same, that it changes us.
I heard someone say what people were upset about was opposition.
I heard someone say if I wasn't taught to hate, I wouldn't be in this situation.
If you'd indulge me, I'd like to close with an affirmation from the book Community, the Structure of Belonging. And this is from chapter 9 that says, the small group is the unit of transformation. And it reads, communal transformation is at best initiated through those times when we gather. It is when groups of people are in a room together that a shift in context is noticed, felt, and reinforced. This means that each gathering takes on a special importance as a leading indicator of the future. Every meeting or special event is that place where context can be shifted, relatedness can be built, and a new conversation can be introduced. The times that we gather is when we draw conclusions about what kind of community we want to live in. We change the world one room at a time. This room today becomes an example of the future we want to create. There is no need to wait for the future. Creating that experience of belonging in the room we are in at the moment becomes the point. Namely, the way that we structure the assemblies of peers and leaders is as critical as the issue or the future that we've come together to address. Thank you.